Osoro, give us a justification. If the Constitution in Article 12 gives an entitlement, a constitutional entitlement to every citizen to an ID, then you wake up one day and you say, if you want an ID, you have to pay 1,000 shillings or 2,000 shillings.
No, that was a printer's mistake.
No, what do you mean by a printer's mistake?
It was, and it has been corrected. It was not rectified. It was withdrawn. It was because of the noise that you are criticizing. If Kenyans had kept quiet, you characters are able to do anything you want with the lives of Kenyans. If we had not made noise about this thing, you would have actually retained those charges because you are shameless. And then you come here and you tell people long stories. Just tell me what is the justification for that. I would not be ashamed, Osoro. Because we have seen this consistently. You have defended things that are not defensible. You know the people are struggling. You impose new taxes and you vote for those taxes. You yourself, as whip, as the MP for South Mugirango, you vote for that the tax, knowing very well the people of South Mugirango cannot afford. Which particular tax
what do you mean?
Because when you talk about the fuel, we had to be within.
Also, I've read the Finance Act 2020.
The one you voted for
myself.
Yeah, that's what we are saying.
But that
very act regulation.
And then we must complain, Osoro.
Yes.
I'll tell you why we must complain. Because you are the people who came forward and told Kenyans that if you elect us, we will fix A.
And that is what we are doing.
No. Listen, calling you to account is not complaining. You must distinguish that as a parliamentarian. We are calling you to account.
And when we explain...
I think Osoro, one of the things that I would have expected the president to explain, I'm not an economist, but I think the little I know about, for example, even just borrowing, is that you can actually renegotiate a loan.
That has been done.
To give yourself some time. I remember during COVID, most of us were hit when we were paying our mortgages. You know, you had to go to the bank and tell the bank, give us some moratorium of a certain... Why isn't the government explaining to us, for example, what it is doing in terms of renegotiating this national debt? Instead, they keep on telling us, we have to pay. We don't have to. I mean, government will always pay. There is no poor government in the world. You know, government will always... But what mitigation measures are you putting in place?
Yeah.
And secondly, Osoro, let me tell you this. Overtaxing Kenyans will never grow the economy of this country. It will never. You are not telling us what industries, for example, that you have created. I do believe that in all the 47 counties of this country, there is an economic activity that you can actually industrialize to be able to create jobs, to be able to put money into people's pockets. Overtaxing Kenyans does not make sense, and it has never developed any country in the world.
Why have Kenyans been overtaxed? Because we also need... You see, when you talk about the housing...
Can I just give you one tax?
Just one.
One tax. When you increase VAT on petroleum, it's common sense. That affects almost everything. Just that alone.
You know there are things that we really do not. There are things,
don't you see the impact of VAT?
I see that. But
petroleum.
But this is not
Look at
unique in this country. By the way, cross the border, just within our region, the neighborhood. What is the VAT percent on fuel and
why is
in Uganda
and Uganda, which is a landlocked country, and not in Kenya? Can you explain that to Kenyans?
How cheap is it?
It's cheaper.
Because that is a lie. It's about in fact, as we are speaking right now, Uganda pricing are higher than us.
I don't think so.
It is Tanzania. Trust me, Tanzania is cheaper than us, but Uganda is higher than us. Tanzania is cheaper because of subsidy, which we can't do. We can't do.
Because we can't afford it.
We can't afford it.
Okay.
We can't live beyond our means. We need to tell people.
Don't allow Osoro to engage in kizungu mingi here.